Good morning, guys. It's your boy, Jim Rat Crypto. Right in your face. It's early, baby. I've already been to the gym. I've been up for hours. I've probably done 3 days of work this morning. And guess what? We're going to do more again tomorrow. Actually, I'm drinking tonight, so I might sleep in tomorrow. Guys, we have an extremely special guest today. It's your boy, DeFi Proof. You guys know the Hex music video song. Everyone tweets about it. Everyone loves it. It's the banger of the century. But some people don't exactly know who's the man behind the bars. And today, we have a cold-blooded Hexican success story. Absolute alpha male. A leader in his community. A guy who's been to the bottom, been to the top and back probably a couple times. And he would be willing to do it again, just like me and Sam, because this shit gets us pumped up every time. Crypto is going to change the whole entire world, guys. We're right at the top of it. We're right here. We are literally changing crypto as we move. Crypto changes. We make the moves. It doesn't matter what everyone says. I was here first. I have more money than you. Jim Rat don't care. I will cut through all that noise so quick because this is happening whether we fight or we don't fight. Right, Sam? I always say it. Tesla was going to happen, whether this girl dumped this dude or whatever. You know, that dude was motivated. We're changing the world right now, guys. Crypto in the morning. We start right here. Guys, let's play a little song real quick and we'll get right back.
Young folks, you dripping on them motherfucker.
Richard Heart. Richard Heart.
Bought my Hex from the fucking start. Point one every day we mark. Bought my Hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Heart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my Hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Heart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Checking my MetaMask moving. Look at the Hex, he is mooning. Looking at why they be choosing. Peter is why they be losing. Pro chains out, now get me a check. He's gas up and it got me a mess. Remember the times he died collect. Hex, I been eating, I'm dying in the best. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Bought my Hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Heart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my Hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Heart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Richard Heart. Richard Heart. Richard Heart. Richard Heart. Getting this back like a year ago.
Oh, what's up? How you doing, man? I'm looking forward to this
How was
show.
the monologue, Sam?
Oh, that was good.
It was pretty much right in your face today. I'm pretty right in your face today, Sam. How are you doing this morning?
Dude, it's awesome seeing, and you guys let me know in the comments if you've been here from the beginning. It is awesome to see GRC's growth in his ability to present and articulate the monologue in the beginning in a concise way or a way that grabs people, a unique way, a creative way. So, right, dude, awesome.
Yeah,
Cheers for that shit.
You can say it. You can say it like this. Jim Rat's a G. The guy. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a
I do
GG's.
it every single day, just like any art, just like rapping, I'm sure, just like playing sports. If you do it every day, every effing day, right? My God, like you can't. I don't even want to tell people how much I do this shit because it's gross, you know. Like, don't be like me. But I know what I want. You know what I mean? I know what I want. And it doesn't. People say 1 in a million businesses or 1 in 100 businesses fail. That's because 1 in 199% of people aren't trying shit that they even want to do. They don't even know what they're doing. It's like, get the fuck out of here. guys. If you know,
I was trying to get this.
Where my location is in the chat, I appreciate that. Just for Sam, we're gonna play a quick clip. I want to give you a second. I'm jacked up. I need to shut up for a second. Before we invite DeFi Proof on, we're gonna play an absolute banger of a clip. I want to know your take on what's going on right now. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
My name is DeFi Proof. So who is DeFi Proof? It just means I'm the proof of all the struggles that I went through. And all my peers and all my friends, from, being in the streets to being homeless to, not having no fathers and all that. We're the proof. And right now we're changing our situation. Crypto and DeFi is helping us, with that way. And we're actually cementing and pioneering the way, which is the most important, because I didn't follow anybody else's steps.
What is that from a show that's coming out, a documentary? That's going to be interesting. From the beginning, I was like, we should get this guy on here. We should get DeFi Proof on here since we started using his music in every show.
Can we do can we do biceps for Producer Bullish in the chat? We need biceps for Producer Bullish in the chat before we invite DeFi Proof on, because without Producer Bullish, DeFi Proof. What's going on, my guy? How are you doing this morning?
First of all, I'm so happy to be in crypto in the morning. I watched it a couple times. I love Hex. I love Pulse. And it just goes with the vibe. What's going on, Sam? What's going on, Jim Rat?
What's up, Proof, man? Hey, thank you for coming on. And I love the music. We've been playing it every day for 70 days now or something. It's good shit.
And every day I get tweets about it. There has not been one day since I started the show where I haven't gotten at least one tweet about that song in general. And they're just, and all they say is, dude, that song's a banger. They're just that's a banger.
Because I wanted everybody to relive that moment I lived with. I put 0.1 ETH, which was probably like $100 at the time, $200 at the time. And I was putting 0.1 every day. And I was just doing it, just because I liked how the staking mechanism worked. And I was trying to work my way up to big payday. And when it got there, it was incredible. So I just wanted everybody to know exactly what I went through and what they could be going through,
Now explain to us a little bit, give everyone a backdrop. You gave us, we got the 30 seconds from the clip, but explain to us, bring us back for a second. Just bring us back to whatever, not specifically, but just where you were at the time, mentally, maybe physically, spiritually, rather than where you're at now and how you've progressed through that.
It was hard, especially coming from, the city I come from, where, product of your community, you're either gonna, go sell drugs, or you're gonna, hang out with people you shouldn't. But what I used to do when I was young, I used to be, a geek. Honestly, when I was young, I was on computer games. Everybody's like, get on Xbox, get on PS. No, I was always on computer games. I was always building my computer. Till I got a taste of the streets, and then the streets took over. And I was just searching for that love I had before, of just sitting there and just minding my own business. And before it was ugly. I came out of jail, actually prison, and I went back to doing exactly what I knew how to do, until
was that what put you in prison to start with?
Absolutely.
How did you get through that? Because when I was 18 or 19, I went to jail for 6 months. And when I was in there, I was not feeling super great. My parents are crying when they come out and visit. I'm a kid, right? 18 years old, don't have any effing idea what I'm doing. And I'm not going to college yet, right? And I'm sitting in jail. What the fuck are you doing? And I was like, there's no way. I won't even talk to anybody in the jail. Not anybody in there. I just stayed on my bunk and read. And I was like, there's no fucking way I'm going to let this not be the point where I changed it in my life. How did you come to
when you can just read in your bed when you're a 6'4" gorilla. Like you can just read in your bed. I'm 5'8", 165 pounds. Like, so the way people move, Sam's like, I can read in my bed. Sam can do whatever the hell he wants anywhere in the world because everyone's scared to death of him unless they shoot him. You know what I mean? This Sam's ginormous as a physical person, but
Yeah.
Sam always mentions that story that he was doing things that he didn't agree with at the time. Maybe you know what I mean? You were messing up. Let's be real. I was messing up. I got sober at 19 years old. I was addicted to drugs pretty much from 15 to 19, and I got sober 100% from 19 to 26. And now I'm not sober at all. Like, I mean, I don't do crazy drugs or anything, but I smoke weed whenever I want, and I drink if somebody else is drinking or whatever. But my story still, I spent 6 years learning, thinking, reflecting on my mistakes, saying I cannot go down this path. I know I will. Everyone I know did. I'm afraid. I was just afraid. It wasn't as much about the police and all that shit, even though if I got in trouble one more time, I was fucked. So that probably had a big way to do with it. But I said, you know what? I'm going to give this shit a shot and see if God's real and try and see if I can connect with anything, because I'm going to end up in jail or just dead like all my friends. So it's just
Absolutely.
like,
How did you do that, Proof? Like, because that's like the typical story, and then you go back into the same thing, then you're back in jail like 6 months later. So how did you break through in that like mentally piece of it?
Yeah. So it was hard for me because I knew what I had to do. For example, I actually met my boy in there, and we're actually connected in crypto. And I sat down with him in there, and we're like, yo, listen, all this crap in here is crazy, but listen, when we come out here, this is what I'm gonna go to. And he could tell you himself, I was speaking about crypto in there, right? And the reason I did that is because before I got in there, I was actually dabbling with Bitcoin and going to the dark and stuff like that, and seeing all the stuff you could do there. Um, when I found out how Bitcoin was going crazy, and how that little digital money that could be mined before per block grew in price this much, I was anxious, and I knew that when I came out, I knew what I had to do. So I was just there counting down the days, and this person's doing that. Yeah, let him do. I already know what I gotta do. This person's doing that. Yeah, let him do that. I already know what I gotta do. But I was counting down the days, and when that day came, I made
when
a
did
reality.
you have the confidence to know that you could dissect information in general? Did you have some savvy, or, I mean, you know what I mean? Like you were at the point where like there's a lot of people that know about crypto. Not all of them are like, hey, I have a plan while I'm in jail.
I'm gonna figure this out. Yeah.
What put you in a position where you could think on your feet like that?
Well, it was really the struggle. I was really trying to find something that was really decentralized, like truly decentralized, where I could move where I wanted to move. Because this is happening in the real world, and you probably have baby mom over here trying to get some child support over here. You probably got this, and and I was searching for something really decentralized. Me, truly, I started off with stocks and stuff, and it wasn't me. Even though I made money, I made a lot of money with Nicola or whatever that was called, and it still wasn't for me. It was too regulated or too, and
you just knew you were getting the shit end of the stick. Like you were just like, all these rich dudes got in first.
Exactly.
You couldn't have got in. You're like,
Exactly.
why can't I get in? But like basically, crypto gives us the opportunity to be venture capitalists if we have a computer.
Absolutely.
ITO level, bottom level stuff.
Exactly. So I managed to get into Ethereum, and then Ethereum basically introduced me to Tron. I stayed in Tron for a while. I made money on a lot of money on something called T2X, and I stayed there, and then I moved on. I had Hex, and I loved the platforms that that gave you that stake in an ROI, and then I just kept going, and I just went down the DeFi rabbit hole. It's crazy.
Did you get into Hexit from the beginning?
I'm not gonna say right from the beginning because of all the FUD that was going around, but it just made sense after 3-4 weeks. It was just like, yeah, this is where I gotta be. You know what I'm saying?
Does that change your perspective on FUD? Because I've mentioned it here, where I followed Tesla way before everybody else followed Tesla, and it was just nonstop, just shit talking, garbage, trash, fake information, not true stuff, just nonstop in the media and the news. And it changed. Like I saw that before, like Donald Trump was saying fake news, right? And then you see the fake news, right? So has that changed your perspective on like, hey, if everybody's like talking shit about something, there's probably some type of value or at least a different type of perspective that I could see that direction.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I could give you, I could give you one main example of, like, the OA address never sold, never sold hex ever. And you had all these people in the beginning saying, hey, they keep looking at that address. I'm not getting in there because of that address. And Richard was saying, hey, listen, this is exactly what this is going to do. And you feel me? Every project is going to have FUD, no matter how you look at it. You can have the most perfect project in the world. There's going to be FUDders. And it's just, it's just what survives out there. What really survives the storm? You got to look at that.
How did you get into music? Like, or have you always been into music?
So me personally, I had everybody around me who did their own thing. I was producing this guy. For a living, I did music videos. So I was doing music videos for this guy, and I was recording that guy. So when I really started loving myself, and I started loving myself when I found DeFi, really. Before you could have asked me, who's your favorite rapper? I would have said, Little Baby, Little Durk or something. Now I say DeFi proof. You know what I'm saying? Now that's how confident I am. And it started with DeFi. And it just kept going, and this is exactly where I'm at now.
Well, you started to feel that you could punch as hard as any other man. If not, well, that's what I'm saying. You do. Like Sam says it all the time. He's like, you know how many men waste their time watching other men play sports, and that's all they do. Watch other men excel. Watch other men jump over other dudes in front of 100,000 people, and while you're sitting there watching with your popcorn, and your wife's saying, "Get the fucking shit ready." And you're like, oh shit, my bad. I just wasted my whole entire day again.
Yeah. I turned the cameras towards myself. The production that I used to do for myself, I do it for me now. The videos that are on YouTube that people are watching now, that's all edited and shot by me. The people you see in the back and stuff like everybody around me is 100%. And when I really found out I could have done this, I went to the studio. And this is when I met my producer, which is my best friend now. It's crazy. And I went there, and I was stressing. I just got rugged by a project, and I was stressing. And I went to the studio. I'm like, hey, I'm just trying to leave my house right now. I've never done this before. Let's just try it out. And I made a song after, and it was ridiculous. I tried it again, and Richard Hart came out of it. So this is my second song all time, Richard Hart. And everybody's loving it, so it gave me the confidence to keep going. And now, I made a song for Harry, who made Tomb Finance. I made a song for all these projects that are, and right now my inbox is still, getting blown up for this music, and it's incredible. I didn't know I had it in me, honestly.
We just saw a comment that was pulled up here on the screen, Bullish, if you can find that again, where somebody was like, DeFi proofs music help them. If you can pull up that comment, Bullish, because let's see, DeFi Rebel proof changed my life. I wouldn't be where I am right now if it wasn't for him. Always grateful for everything he did and continues to do. Like proof showed me the DeFi way, changed my life too. I can't be grateful enough to him and the crew. Wow. Like sometimes you don't realize when you're in that space where you don't love yourself. Right, because I've been there too. Like I think we've all been there at different degrees or different moments in our life. And when we go through and we are the leader and we try to do those things that are for us, that are the best things in our life, we can impact other people's life in a positive way. And it's coming through in like the comments. It's a beautiful thing, man. Like that's awesome.
It's beautiful because it attracts other like-minded smart people as well. Like my producer, GK, he gives me, the positivity I need every day. Whether it's him waking me up, yo, we got to get up, or either my friends like Big Baby, and my managers, Non-Fungible Nay and CV, and these people are in the space as well. So it's living proof, of what you can do just by being yourself. I didn't expect all this. Yeah.
I've never really been
We gotta
tremendously.
drop some of these tags in the comments, guys. I'm trying to. A lot of these names I don't know about. I'd like to have all these guys followed up. So we'll make sure we'll get them. We'll type them in the chat and we'll start putting them in the comments so we can get everyone. Because we're all trying to get connected, right? Like, why not? Like, it's just more heads, more clicks. Let's move up, guys.
More
Like,
power, more value.
I love inviting guys on here that have followings and want to have more following. And I'm like, why don't we all just have more shit? I don't fucking rap. I'm not a rapper at all. And Sam doesn't do exactly what I do. And we all have different talents and ideas. You know what I mean? So why can't we all move forward together? It's not competition, guys. It's a movement. Like if we all win, we're all going to win. Whether DeFi stops doing what he's doing, I stop doing what I'm doing, it's going to happen. We understand that. We're just getting in position to be the leaders in the space, in my opinion, because we're leaders in our own lives, apparently. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel personally.
How does that work? Because like I don't rap either, like clearly. But how do you go through and just create like a song? Like I have no idea like how I would, you know, if you're like, hey, this thing in the gym, I could be like, oh yeah, it's super easy. But when you're like, hey, I'm gonna go create a song, I would have no idea where to even start or how somebody goes about thinking about writing a song, or do you write a song or do you just start like kind of freestyle? Like how does that work?
So it's crazy because one of my close friends, and I show with this guy every day. His name is DeFi D's. He does the music with me. He's actually in the song that we might give the preview to today, which is awesome. But I used to look at him, and he used to listen to a beat and write his stuff down. And I used to look at everybody as artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're an artist because you're doing that. Oh, you did that painting, you're an artist. I never seen myself as an artist. So I go and I just listen to the beat, and I don't write anything. I don't write anything. I go to the studio and I make the song just like I'm talking to you guys right now.
Really?
Literally line by line. And then after I go to the gym and I sing the song 50 times so I can remember what I said.
So wait a second. So you have a beat which is just something without any type of lyrics to it, and are you like, hey, I think this beat is dope, or is it like how you just pick the beat and then you were literally?
Do you have an idea in your head? Like, are you like, I want to do an up tempo, down tempo, or are you just like, let me hear something and I'm gonna start thinking about it?
It's just put it on. Let's go. I'm gonna do my first whatever I say, and then I'm gonna do the background sounds and let's go.
They call that talent in the industry.
I thought I was doing it wrong the whole time. I thought I was doing it wrong. Okay, am I supposed to?
Now you were practicing to be the best. You're like, now I can suit up, show up wherever, where other guys probably need like 3 writers, a couple dudes to like spit ideas off of, and you're like, just throw something on, please. Like I just want, whenever you're feeling it, because I'm sure there's times where you're like, I don't want to do this shit right now. Like it's not my time, or whatever. You never know.
It's crazy because I feel like, when you have that thing like DeFi and crypto where you just lose time, and you by the time you check, it's like, what? It's 7 o'clock at night. It's the same thing with music. For some reason, I wish I found it, at my 20s and 15 or whatever, but never too late.
So like for me, the thing that just kind of like goes into flow is either learning or in the gym. Like sometimes I'll just be like, cool, I'm doing my thing, right? And it sounds like that when you're doing stuff with music, you're kind of get into like a flow state where you're just having a good time, and that you're like, that's awesome. And so when you do that, how does the production work? So you have the beat going in the background, you are singing or rapping or whatever, and then you record that, and then you said you record something else after that to put in the background.
So the whole process really lasts probably like 15 minutes to 30 minutes. So we got my producer, makes the beat. We literally right here. Let's say I'm here in crypto morning, right? And then then I'll listen to that one line, I'll follow it up with another line, then I'll listen to 2 lines.
Can we get a freestyle of crypto in the morning of rap, like just something off? Like we could pull up something.
That's a lot of pressure.
Not really.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. You don't have to.
Yeah,
But,
that would be tough.
but what I could do is I could make a Crypto in the Morning song for you.
What, dude,
You know what I'm saying?
dude, that would be the most lit
Yeah,
fucking thing in history.
absolutely.
Dude, so when you came up with your new song, whichever one you're the most proud of, obviously, I don't know exactly what you're doing behind the scenes, but all Bullish tells me is that there's bangers involved.
So I can give you an example because I get the questions you guys are asking. So proof, I can play them like the beginning of slippage because everyone knows those terms. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it'll be easy for them to follow. You know what I mean? And they'll get an idea of what we're talking about.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Okay, there we go.
Can't believe I left my slippage on 30. Transaction went through it, did me dirty. Met a mess on reset, that shit was hurting. And the gas on my bag like a jersey. Can't believe I left my slippage on 30. Transaction went through it, did me dirty. Met a mess on reset, that shit was hurting. And the gas on my bag like a jersey.
That's awesome.
Dude, that is amazing. I love how you stuck to actually what you loved instead of just, I mean, I don't know everything about that you rap about, but like you're talking about the stuff that you actually do, which is always the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Every one of my songs has to do with, my DeFi, what I do in DeFi. And on top of that, yeah, you could actually make money because I'll tell you how to farm and everything. It's crazy.
Yeah. So as far as making money, why don't we talk about that real quick? Because come on, that's what we love to do here. That's the whole point, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I love fighting for freedom and everything, guys. But I only got so many years on this earth. You know what I'm saying? I got fam. I got things I want to do, businesses I want to create. I don't want to be slowed down just because of freedom fighting. I'm going to get this money because I know exactly how. Because what we have here is the greatest software that has been created in the space at the time, in this moment in time, in my opinion, with Hex. And we have the layer one launching in a bear market that has absolutely explosive potential. I mean, we're talking about $1 billion sacrificed two-time. Richard's sitting back. He's crushing the game. It doesn't matter what anyone says about Richard. At the end of the day, he is nuking everyone, destroying, dominating. Anyone who has a stupid word to say about him at this point, he'll just say like, dude, like what do you mean? You know what I mean? It's like, talk about Richard, your relationship with him before you had any idea who he actually was, from where did you get it right away? Like, because you probably did. You probably were like in a week, just like, dude, this dude is telling the truth.
So, it was really probably 3 or 4 weeks after, I did my first stake, and after I did my first stake, and I actually cashed out, and it was pretty good. As the price was appreciating, my bag grew. So by the time my stake got there, I was just like, oh wow, all right. So then, I started seeing more community members and less fudders. And as I seen more community members build up, I'm like, okay, this might be, what it really is. So like I said, it wasn't cheap for me to do it at the time. It was a really, a small risk as you could, with the amount of money I had.
When did you know about the soft? When were you like, oh shit, this shit's actually like I know you bought in, and that was.
You mean about the song?
No. I'm talking about the software. I mean, as far as Hex.
Okay.
Like when did you know, like, oh, the T-share, oh, like this thing's actually like, because you probably bought in just like I did. You were like, this could be dope. Richard's cool. This is sick. And then I learned, and I was like, okay, like I'm all in.
Yeah. So after that first stake ended, and I started talking to more people, they really got it in my head where they said, hey, listen, the T-shares by day, they get more expensive as they go. So if you end up, making a stake on this day compared to this day, you're gonna get a way better T-share rate, if you do it earlier. You know, rather than, you know, making a stake right now where t-shirts is through the roof. You know, even if you make a stake, you know, a year from now, you're probably getting it for cheap now. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy.
Yeah,
Look
like
at
if you
Bitcoin.
look at Bitcoin and you truly have an understanding about adoption and where this is going, 2.5% of the population interacts, well, 3% of the population interacts with cryptocurrency. In 5 years' time, if you look at the adoption curve, we're talking about 50% of people will be interacting with cryptocurrency. And that is what we're talking about when we talk about adoption. We're not talking about, this guy bought a little, he sold 800 grand worth. Oh, he sold seven. No, guys, that's not what adoption looks like. It looks like all over the news. It looks like that's everything everyone's talking about for weeks on end. Richard Hart hits virality and everyone's buying because it hits over $1 because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
So let me ask you this: what do you think happens, you know, with adoption once everybody receives, you know, a free airdrop?
Well, it just depends. If you look at the amount of economic mass that's in the system now and you project that out to the adoption rate, right? You can say that. Imagine the whole pie right now. So even after the fork, let's say that's 3% of the population. If you just extrapolate to 50% of the population within each of their own right, you multiply it. What is 2.5 divided by 50, Sam?
Less than 20, I think.
Whatever. You know what I mean? So like we're talking about 20 times the amount of actual heads in the system. So you can might as well just because there could be a couple billionaires in that mix. There's guys that they're talking to every day from Legacy. Imagine if there's fiat on-ramps to Pulse Chain.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
But they're supposedly going to be, right? My thoughts on this on like the adoption curve, right? So that's something I'm super interested in paying attention to. All technology follows an adoption curve, all of them. Then it just starts out super slow and then it goes faster and faster. And right about 2.5 to 3% is where shit starts going bonkers.
Tell them about your experience, Sam. Tell them about your experience in the first time you invested in a project that absolutely went nuclear.
So I've been following Tesla for 12 years, since 2009, 2010. And I didn't put money into it. I didn't put money in. I saw the FUD, but it was really, really slow. It was like this. This is where I didn't put money in. Whereas if I had put money in, it would have been stupid. Right here, I was like decided to take action. I was ready mentally. I started putting money in and I hit that run up right here in the adoption curve for Tesla. And when it like popped in the financial markets 2019, 2020, and there was, 1,700% in a year or something like this. Stupid. And I watched this with the S curve. So that's a really slow run up like this, and it starts to taper out as you get to like 70, 89% of the population who's using crypto. There's two, Crypto.com and another research company, who both published that we're at around 4% of global adoption, meaning people who hold crypto. But there's people who have crypto who don't know a fucking dick about DeFi. They don't know anything about it. They might have it. They might be like, yeah, I have Ethereum, I have Bitcoin, and they don't know anything. Like they just have it. They don't sit in a Coinbase, or it might be sitting on. They're like, they know they need to put it somewhere, so it's not there, but it's sitting there. They don't know anything about this stuff, and we're right here at 4%. And if you slow down the growth rate, so we did a triple in terms of the number of new users in crypto from 2021 beginning to the end of 2021. It's 12 months. There was more than a triple from 100 million users to over 300 million users who own crypto. According to both of these, both independent places come up with about the same amount of number of users. Now, if that cuts in half, so we grow half as fast for the next couple of years, we're going to be at 50% of the global. That's 8 billion people. By like
every other person you talk to. That's every other person you talk to.
2026, 2027. These numbers are. I literally watched this play out with Tesla. I know this.
Dan, you have any cool charts on it?
I can definitely pull up some charts on this. This is really
because on this show, what we generally talk about is like, I love crypto, right? But I'm pretty new. I went from Bitcoin. I went from a paid course to Bitcoin at $3,000. I bought 1.7. I was just like, whatever. I don't know what this shit is. Then Richard Hart's all over the internet calling the top. I'm like, screw this shit. It sounds like it's going down. I threw it all into Hex at like 2 pennies. Like I just started dollar costing average in. And then as you would, it literally, I got really lucky. From the day that I bought Hex, it literally went from 2 cents to 54. Like it literally never stopped ripping. And I was like, what the literal is going on here? Everyone in my life is like, Scott's neurotic. Scott's going off his shit. Like he's about to quit his job. I'm like, I'm about to quit all this stupid ass shit. Something's going on over here. And your shit's stupid compared to it. Because I just watched whatever just turned into whatever. And you're playing around with small shit over there. Because so I left. I was just like, I'm done. I was making a good amount of money. I was like, I just want to sit at this desk and focus on this until I know. And then the show came about, right? I got involved. Richard followed me. A couple people were tweeting me and stuff. I was just like, this is amazing. This is the most incredible thing I've ever been a part of. And I've been a part of some cool ass communities, but nothing. We're revolutionizing technology and finance and taking over. Like you can't have more impact than that.
And we're so early. It's so early.
I seen somebody just put that comment that popped up. It says, first they ignore you, then they hear you. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened. Even with me, bro. I used to tell people so much about Hex and crypto, and now I'm just silent. I let people say,
Dude, same. People are like, yo, what are you doing? I'm like, fucking, you want to give me some money, I'll talk to you. But like, everyone I talked to for the first year call me stupid, or they just didn't care. They never wanted to look into it. And I said, you know what? If you want to look into it, you can hit my cell phone, whatever. But like, I doubt I'm going to help you at this point unless you're pretty like, I'm certain you're pretty much an excelled man. Like you have to understand some sort of concept in an intimate way. I'm not just going to go up to random people and tell them to throw their money into smart contracts. They'll lose it all. It don't matter if it's Hex or anything. They won't know how to set up their security. You know how serious this shit is? Like I lost 10 T-shares because I didn't know about security. Yeah. And straight up. And I lost like 50K Hex or like something like that. And like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, period. And after that day, guess what? I knew exactly what the fuck I was doing after that day. I could promise you. I can promise you that. Because that was Hex was much higher when I lost that shit.
Yeah. And that's a bigger impact on you. And you're like, I was
like, I will never make a security mistake again.
Now you get your ledger, you get your, you get your stuff.
And you know what? Everyone was like, why isn't this kid quitting? Why is he online talking about getting hacked? And I was like, because it fucking happened, motherfuckers. Like everyone wants to act because I'm telling the truth. Yeah. People still think I'm lying about that. They still are like, dude, I was like, no, it happens to a lot of
people. Give Proofs a little bit of like he was like the typical pleb, but like with what he did, just giving a seed phrase to other people and stuff like that. Give him some
I had a secretary at the time. She had all my information, but she didn't steal any of the shit. The person that stole my shit had 150 million Hex. So for everyone in this community that wants to know the truth about what goes on behind the scenes, there's dudes with hundreds of millions of Hex scamming multiple people, as many people as they possibly can, every single day.
Yes.
So don't click on, and you know what they are? I'm pretty certain, guys. It's the free airdrop links that pop up in your MetaMask. Do not fuck with those, bro. If anything, any coin you have never heard of, don't look it up on the internet. It is not. It is there to liquidate you. What it does is it has a read receipt, and then it has like another receipt where it says it can withdraw as much ETH as it wants or as much whatever as it wants, depending on what the contract is. And then the next thing you know, it's gone. They have your seed phrases, and once they find out about your stakes, your Hedron, they're going to start liquidating it all. Because they stole my liquid first, and I had all my stakes in there. I was like, they're going now. Then I told everyone, I was like, I'm locked into smart contracts. I wish I had Maxi. Wish I had something. Everyone was like, too bad, too sad, blah, blah, blah. I was like, there's a problem here. And I was just screaming to the rooftops. I said, there's a problem here. It doesn't matter what anyone says. You guys want adoption, but you don't want to make it adoptable, right? So I came on here, and I was just like, this is an issue. This is an issue. Like people are getting locked into smart contracts and being told to do 15-year stakes on a Trezor that after 8 years won't even work. People don't want to get into the gritty detail. They want to talk from the rooftops and let everyone know they know, but they don't generally ever know. It's like the people that are the loudest, this, this, are the ones that give the most misinformation.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
What,
And it's
what's
gonna
your
be a lot more of them because Sam, going back to what you were saying, right? Right when we crossed 1 trillion here, it was just everybody, oh, 1 trillion in crypto, let's go. Bro, I'm still waiting for that 20 trillion, 10 trillion, 15 trillion. It's gonna happen. You know what I'm
sorry,
saying?
I didn't mean to. There we go. So
Hmm?
check this out. You've probably seen this back in school where there's early innovators, early adopters, early majority, etc. Right? You're like, you go to school and they're like, this is how a product cycle works, right?
Mhm.
And it's somebody who's never launched a product talking about this kind of stuff, right?
Mhm.
But we learn about it. You see this first segment right here. This is like a normal distribution, right? So it's like the vertical lines are standard deviations away from the center here. And what this represents is 2.5% of the population in crypto, right? Remember, we have two estimates from two independent companies where we're past 2.5%. Look at this chart here. What happens to the graph right about here? It starts to fucking accelerate. We already had a triple in terms of users in 2021. If you assume that's cut in half, we're still at 50% in 2026, 2027. Now, if you look at like traditional adoption curves, that's going to accelerate, and people don't understand how exponential curves work. The yellow line here in the background, this is the purple line just stacked on top of it from going from like no percentage of the population to 100%. We're like right here where it's starting to pick up and accelerate, and you're like, well, are all adoption curves this way? Do all like technologies go through the same thing? Every single technology follows this. It doesn't matter what technology you actually look at.
Yeah.
This is the internet, PC, mobile phones, telephones. They all follow the same fucking curve. Like
this is not a drill, motherfuckers. Like this is not a fucking drill. Like this is happening now, and you know about it. Period. I don't care if you're from here, there, or whichever way. You got $400. Can you make $400? Because if you do $250 right now, you'll probably save yourself a lot of heartache in 15 years. If you can just pay attention for 5 fucking seconds, get your computer out and focus. Just give yourself an hour. Take an Adderall if you have to. Do whatever. This is more important than whatever you're doing. Whatever you're doing, you need to get your finances and protect your family first. That's what you do first, and then you grow. It's your family. You need to. I don't have kids, so I don't really have to worry about all that jazz. But like, you know what I mean? I want to have kids, and I don't want them to be all jacked up because I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. Because my head got too big for my own ass.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens to most people. They still tell me to go to school for 8 more years. I'm like, what planet are you on? You're telling me to go to school for 8 fucking years. Are you retarded? Like literally, I'm not gonna hold back. Seriously, you want me at the age 18 to take out 400 grand and go 8 years to school and be in debt for the rest of my life when I could have spent $500 on crypto and play video games for the rest of the decade?
You'd be set. You would have literally been set. You put $500 into Bitcoin back when you were 18, you would be good. You would be good.
If you put $10 into Bitcoin when I was 18, I'd have been good. If I knew what the F was going on in reality, but everyone told me the wrong shit. They were like, you need to go to school. You need to learn. I said, this shit's stupid. My teachers make 60 grand a year. That's stupid.
I mean,
why do I want to do that shit? And I was just like, but in my head, I was like, I just want bigger. I want to do something. I want to have fun. I want to. And they were just like, no. Work, you son of like work until your hands are bleeding, boy, because that's the only way you're gonna make it. That's what my dad told me. Literally, he was like, I was on a tower 300 feet in the air with construction workers that had all been to jail for several years for 10 hours a day. Literally 300 hanging from a suspender, fixing up cell towers. And I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm a man. This is what. No, we're wrong.
They are gonna wake up. They'll wake up. I mean, even with the next halving, they'll wake up. You know what I'm saying? But we're here now. That's the important part. And when if you sacrificed, you might not get an airdrop. No expectations. You know what I'm saying? But if you do, cool. And I talk to everybody about this because I need people to understand. I'm an experienced DeFi guy, right? I've been through this probably 3 times. I've been through it with Phantom, Binance. You know what I'm saying? The most important thing that I got from my experience is when you save the LP, guys. LP at the bottom when you're gonna LP, but the LP that you guys are gonna LP at the bottom is gonna be the key. I'm trying to tell you the key. Why? You know what I did with
You
my
might have to
LP?
break this down a hair more.
Explain
You're
it,
getting
cover it in more
complex.
detail.
I just want you to know where everyone's at, and like we love what you're about to talk about. That is our honeycomb.
Yeah.
So just
definitely.
I'm going to lay it up for you. We want to know. I need to know more about this, so I'm going to lay it up as a question more. I've never provided liquidity. Period. I'm going to say it right here. Just not something I've dove into. Sam is from the financial world. He's trying to tell me. He's saying there's some good positive externalities here. I need you to learn. I'm learning. I'm trying to learn, but I'm trying to be safe. And so I want you to help me as we go through this process. Maybe what can I do? What should people look for? What are those deals you've seen in the past?
Yeah. So an LP is basically two coins you put together. And when you merge them together, it makes it where it's liquid. Now you could add that to a farm, and you could actually earn off either buys and sells, or that are happening in the platform, or either this, then the third, whatever factor it is, you're earning something, right? So you could have your impermanent loss if the price of one token is going down versus the other one, or if they're both going down together, you're gonna suffer from impermanent loss. But you could also have impermanent gains if they're both going up. So it works both ways. So quick strategy that I'm gonna have that I did before, and I'm gonna give you the example of Binance when they came through and they did Binance Smart Chain, and when Cake came out. When you made that LP right at the bottom, because you're gonna have impermanent gains, and when PLS and PLX going insane because of the tokenomics, you're gonna have impermanent gains, right? Especially if you let everything die down, because you guys know all the supply is gonna be out there. You know what I'm saying? Let everything die down, single stake, so you don't lose anything. Single stake, chill. Once you guys feel in your heart that the bottom is in, take a little bit of something and make an LP, a little bit of PLX, a little bit of PLS, but never sell that. Never sell those positions, because there's so much ways of winning. If Richard Hart decides to come and say, hey, listen, there's a coin called Heart coming out, and the only way you're going to be able to get that coin is with your LP, right? And now you could unstake your LP, because you can unstake whenever you want your LP from staking right now, which is giving you a good APRs, right? You're taking that LP and you're putting it on this stake, which is earning you Heart. Now you're getting free Heart for you having that LP. Now, when that's done, you could unstake that LP and put it back in the farm you had it in and get that amazing APR. But what's the amazing part about that? He's preaching 10,000 X's. What is an impermanent gain going to look like? What is your LP going to look like? If you have $1 million in LP and you decided to put it here to farm, how much is your daily income going to look like? And I'm doing, and it's
what Sam tries to tell me, but I want to give you my perspective, and then I want you two to go back and forth for a second.
Yeah.
So the community tells me, and this is public sentiment, not everyone, of course. They say, Jim Rat, be careful. Don't provide liquidity. Don't do it. And I'm just going to be 100% honest. This is what all the people say. And I never think it's true. This is what they say. So they're like, don't do it. You're going to screw up. Something's going to happen. Do single-sided PulseX staking or whatever, the safest way possible with feeder. That's probably your best bet. But do you think there's some misinformation? Like people maybe just don't understand some things about providing liquidity? Because I think the general noob just hears these things, and then for the rest of the year, they're just like, oh, that's scary. Don't do that. But there's just a lot of daily money potential here.
Yeah. Well, if you pull up the hex chart, right? The reason people are saying don't LP is because the people who started in the beginning back then, they LP'd right when it came out. You can't just there's gonna be this push up of people that didn't buy Pulse X or Pulse, and there's gonna be a push up of like every other coin, right? But there's gonna be a correction. And when that correction happens right at the beginning, it just happened right at the beginning.
Like over here.
Literally the first couple days of Hex.
Okay, let me get there. Go ahead and keep talking.
So
right here, I think it is.
Yeah. So there's a run up, and then there's a correction right back down, probably to pre-sale prices. I
Let me,
believe.
let me zoom in and go in here
Yep.
a little bit. Bring this down. So it looks like there was a sell-off right from the beginning over here, and then it
Yep.
dropped, and it kind of like petered out throughout this period
Exactly.
before another run-up.
So the people who LP'd right at the beginning right there, you see that little red dot? The people who LP'd in the beginning right there suffered from extreme impermanent loss and probably went to zero because they LP'd at the top. Not went to zero per se, but went, pretty low. If they held it and it went back up, they probably went, you feel me? But
the problem proof, and I'm just talking for my own sake, the problem here is that people sell their position because they get nervous, correct?
the problem is people see how big their bag is and say, hey, wow, because you're gonna have a better position in the beginning than somebody who let's say you buy at 0.0001 and it goes up to a penny. You made a lot of X's, right? You probably might want to sell. But if you sell and buy back at half a penny, you gotta wait to get to a penny to 2x only. That you get me? If you buy at a penny, you have to wait till it gets to 2 pennies for you to 2x.
So are you saying the best time to provide liquidity is at the bottom?
Absolutely.
If you can somewhat know that the trend is about to go bull in like in your head or whatever, like if we were at 15K Bitcoin, for example, I think all of us would be under the impression that the bottom was soon, very, 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 very soon, right? You'd be like 11K max, but like that's where we would probably be heading. And we would all be bullish. We would have to be. There's too much pressure built up in that system. So but that's only 1% of the population even knows any of that information. Most people think it will go to 300K. They don't know about market cycles at all.
Do you see a lot of people, because this is what seems to come across when
I'll use the bathroom.
Is that people don't necessarily understand impermanent loss.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who think it's like an actual loss, but what you don't realize if that's the way you think about things, not you proof, but like if you don't think that an impermanent loss is an actual loss, you could still make 100% and have impermanent loss. Like you can double your bag and still have impermanent loss. You're not actually losing necessarily, right? Like it's, you can make a massive amount of profit and still have impermanent loss. You're just, that's so misunderstood when I talk to people. It's just people don't grasp that. Like you're just be okay with holding either one of these two things. Like don't do it with a scam coin. Don't do it with something you don't want to actually hold. If you want to hold either one of these things, cool. That's a perfect pair to do it on, right?
So how you got to think about it is, right? Let's say you have, these two, coins you put together, right? And if this one goes, down, let's say, it would probably have to get rid of some of this one in order to equal out. So that's basically what happens. If this one goes down, you got it. It's gonna sell a little bit to get it right equal or exactly where it's at. So it goes both ways. That's how I like to think about it.
Yeah, because you can do the other direction, right? You could, the other direction. If it goes in one direction and you don't sell and you just keep sitting there, what can happen over time is that it comes back and goes the other direction, right?
But those, if you notice, a lot of the people who say, "Oh, LPs are bad" and stuff like that, are the people who LP'd at the top. Because if you that's why I say single stake at the beginning. You don't got, when you single stake, you don't have to. If you notice, I said get a little bit from each. Get a little bit from each and make the LP, and let it grow. It's a seed. You know what I'm saying? You planted your seed, and check it later on, see where it's at. But you know that you LP'd somewhere in the bottom because you waited, you were patient. Yeah. But if you do it right in the beginning when things are popping off, and how volatile, we never been through this before.
What is there auto compounding things like? So I'm doing it on V3 and it's not auto compounding on there, right? So if I need to, I gotta like add that back in myself whenever I feel like it's appropriate time to do so. Yeah. Is there like software that you can use on top of that, or do you just need to use something like Cake or like, I don't know if PulseX is going to have auto compounding?
Oh, they're most definitely going to have auto compounding. It's something that a lot of platforms have. Even if you go to Trader Joe, they have the auto compound and stuff like that. If you have, if you go to Pancake, they got the auto compound. It's not going to be hard for Richard to do that, and I'm confident they're going to have the auto compound. But how it works is probably like every 2 minutes to 15 minutes or something, whatever it just grabs whatever you have made in there, whatever it just puts it right in your balance, so it gets.
That's so much more powerful than me having to go through and do it myself. Because it's just like people. I'm thankful that there's a misunderstanding of LP. It means the returns for people who understand LP are much greater because there's less
Sam, if you
people
look
doing
into the cake returns early on, I mean, some of the most explosive experiences anyone in crypto had at the time, not me, but from all the research I've done, is LPing with the cake protocol, with the pancake swap protocol early on. If you look at the cake price chart, it's absolutely bonkers.
It's bananas, and that's what I'm saying.
Bonkers.
That's why I'm saying.
But imagine Pulse X, dude, DeFi proof, dude. Because imagine that the incentive token has some sort of tokenomics or staking feature, which it seems like that's the last thing he's kind of not telling us about. Who knows if it's because of the rules or whatever. But Richard, he loves to one up the game. He knows that Cake has these externalities. Pulse X already has way better pressure than because of the buy and burn. But that incentive token, people are like, oh, what are we just going to dump it? Come on, guys. Is this your first rodeo? You think Richard's going to have a dumper? You think Richard's going to have a dumper coin with no incentive? Not so fast, guys.
Proof. What do you think? What do you think? Obviously, this is just conjecture. We have no fucking idea. What do you think of the incentive of the incentive token? Like, what are some just ideas that it could be? I haven't been in crypto long enough to understand like where some of the possibilities of things that an incentive token can do. So I would appreciate any perspective you have on that.
Yeah. Well, I always preach to everybody. I tell about crypto. I always preach you have to have a backbone, and by backbone I mean like you gotta have a platform that brings you this daily income that you're gonna use to buy other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that if you're on Binance, you probably got the backbone of Drip. If you're on AVAX, you probably got Splash or something. You know what I'm saying? I believe that once he does this, he's gonna have probably a tax where it's probably substantial, and it's gonna go back into that coin or something. And it just I think it's gonna happen with tax.
So like anytime somebody sells the incentive token, there's a small, it could be substantial, a tax to sell it, and it goes back into towards Pulse X or something.
That's me. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. I love it.
I feel like there's gonna be some type of tax where it either goes back to the coin to have to give incentive to hold and stuff like that and price appreciation. But who knows that this might be my backbone where I sell every time and I use it as my backbone to buy other stuff, buy more Pulse or Pulse X. It's ill. We've never been in this position before, and I'm excited.
Pulse X could be the most explosive thing that anyone's ever seen. Yeah. I mean, if you really look at what Cake did, and it sounds like you know that pretty intimately, Pulse X only does that and better. This is software, guys. This is money in, money out. What's the positive, negative externalities? Yeah. Pulse X has more positive externalities, period. Yeah. End of story. Why did Richard Hart say that there's going to do a 10,000x when he just started? Because he knew this. He understood that it was just math. He understood that if he had a decent adoption rate and the amount of people staking were anything like he could have imagined, then it would work out the way he wanted it to, because Bitcoin did it and it was worse. It had more sell pressure. It had more random noobs dumping all their bags. And Hex has educated individuals. And yeah, people dump the crap out of their bags, but that doesn't matter long term when we're talking about adoption. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, dude. This shit's crazy. Like, this is a layup, dude.
Absolutely.
Dude, Pulse Chain, if you're watching crypto and any influencer you're using or listening to is not talking about these things, then block them. You should block them. I'm not saying they have to talk about it only, but I'm saying if they are not speaking of these things on purpose, you should block them, because they're paid to play fools. And they know, and they have fat bags.
Facts.
And it's just like they want you to not know so that they can tell you 8 months later when it did 300x and they're like, dude, Pulse Chain's lit. ride the top a little bit. Oh, whoopsie, bear markets are bear markets. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's it goes back to what I was saying, right? If you sacrificed and your price, basically what you're kind of guaranteed if you get this airdrop is 0.0001, right? It's 3 zeros and a 1, I believe, right? If that's your sacrifice price, right, and it reaches a penny, how much excess have you made?
If it's triple 0 and then a 1,
yeah,
right, and that gets up to 1, that's going to be 100x.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't got to do math, right? But if it goes to 2 pennies, how much excess have you made, right? But then this is the question, right? If you sell, let's just say you sell, right? And then you decide, hey, you know what? I'm going to go back in and it's a penny. You're going to have to wait till it gets to 2 pennies to 2x. Rather than us right here, which have been diamond handing since we've been in the sacrifice and, let's say launch and stuff, and it reaches a penny. And it reaches a penny, and you made, let's say, 1,000 something X, and then it just reaches 2 cents now. Now you made another 1,000 something X. Now it reaches 3 pennies. Now people don't understand position. Position is very important. Versus the guy who bought at a penny right now who made 3x because it went to 3 pennies. You got me? It's crazy.
Dude, if you have 100 grand in crypto, just like for a reference, like. It can get out of hand. You're good. It can get out of hand quick. So you need to understand your security. And if you're watching this and you're like, oh, dude, please don't talk about security. It makes me have a hole in my stomach. You're the exact person that needs to hear it. Please. It should feel uncomfortable to set up your security. You're an early innovator. This is new stuff. Get your computers out, be detail oriented, and set your shit up. There's information all over the internet on how to do it. I do episodes on it all the time. If you are slacking, you will get robbed straight up, and you will be out of the conversation, and there will be no one to call. Absolutely. There's no one to fight. There ain't no one to shoot. There ain't no one to steal from. It's freaking internet software.
The only place to get customer service from, like, in crypto is kind of like a running joke is in the Hex community, right? Like, you go to the Hex community, there's so many people that are fucking amazing, who are wonderful people, who are happy to help you get your shit together. If you're not comfortable about your security, reach out to somebody in the Hex community, start tweeting about it, reaching out to people, look up the hashtag Hex, hashtag Hex on Twitter, and reach out to some of those people. There's so many people that would love to know somebody else and share what they know about it, and would be happy to help you if you're in that spot. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. It's flawless software. I mean, you guys can understand. Everybody speaks to me about Hex and stuff and posting. Guys, Hex is about to be like a store of value. If you don't understand it now, Hex is about to be the store of value. You know what I'm saying?
Do you see? So, given that is accurate statement that it's a store of value, do you see that your portfolio is going to be 60-80% Hex just sitting there, and the other percent is what you're using for fun, for different projects, for LPing, like, or how do you see yourself transitioning your portfolio?
Well, okay, if let's just say magically post-chain launches, and people are trying to cash out, and let's say USDT or stablecoin, as you might say, right? Where are people going to go? People are going to run into Hex. They're going, oh man, I made 100 bet. Hold on, let me switch Hex. They're not going to go into DAI or right off the rip. I'm saying they're not going to go into USDC, USDT, or UST.
That's such a good point. Proof. That's a really good point,
dude. No, Proof. The more you talk, the more I'm like, dude, fuck yeah, because we love the guys. You're thinking on your feet. You've seen this stuff before. This isn't just like theory to you. You're just like, this is as clear. Sometimes it's crystal clear, but everyone just confuses it, right? You just need to be patient and understand what other people don't understand. And there's rich people out there. They understand. Trust me, they're in rooms right now talking about all of this shit constantly. They want to know how to be in the best position they can be in. I'm going to pull up a tweet and ask you a question, DeFi Proof. Yeah. I'm going to have a new talking point. Super crazy cool tweet right here. It's going to get us all thinking a lot. It's from this morning. So we got. Hold on. Why am I bugging through? We got court documents from the second one too. The dramatic story of the Terra Luna crash, referred to by some as the Lehman Brothers of crypto, has taken yet another remarkable turn as legal documents reveal the liquidation of 2 South Korean offices and the dilution of the Terraform Labs Korea Corporation. Initially reported by South Korean news outlet Digital Today, the information obtained from the country's Supreme Court Registry Office highlights that Do Kwon successfully instigated the liquidation of 2 branches of an entire company.
Yeah, I love this because as soon as this started happening with Luna, the first second, as soon as that happened, right? They came on and said, hey, he did it before. I'm like, wait a second. What do you mean he did it before? He's like, yeah, they had this thing called Basis Network or something where they really diluted that company too. Whoa. Well, as soon as I heard that, I said, yeah, it's over. It's over.
Did you own any?
When did you hear that?
Absolutely. I took almost a $20,000 loss on Luna.
But you got out that day then. You got out in like the first 24 hours shit just started hitting the fan.
I unfortunately I was just like, oh yeah, this is going back up to peg and this is gonna do absolutely obliviated.
Now in the future, there's other things that kind of want to act in the same way. Like we have USDT, we have Liquidity on Ethereum, and then we have liquid loans on Pulse Chain.
Yeah,
a lot of this whole algorithmic stablecoin thing. You mentioned the stablecoin thing. You hit it right on the head, and you were like, "This is just what people will naturally do because this is where the value lies." Right. So, what do you think? Everyone talking about these stablecoins. Do you think there will be just a stablecoin adoption, or do you think what is your take on all that stuff?
I think that the Luna situation with UST just scared the crap out of people. It's so crazy that even US Tether, it kind of depegged, and something I didn't think was possible because Bitfinex, it's such a big company. I couldn't even understand why people panicked so crazy that it depegged one of the strongest stable coins I thought was out there. And then when that happened, it's like, okay, well, are people really gonna trust these stable coins? I mean, I'm not saying like in the future. In the future, people are probably gonna use stable coins all the time, especially when the market dumps. I'm saying right now, this current vibe right now with this Luna thing, if something comes out with Pulse, I just don't think people are gonna run to stables just because of the trust right now. Unfortunately,
it's interesting. Cabana, I forgot to message you back. He invited me on happy hour tonight. I am going out with my friends tonight, although I'm trying to talk myself out of it. I am actually going to do that.
Cabana, I won't let you down. I know GRC's used to letting people down, so he's just like, I'm gonna let you down, bro. I won't let you down. I would be happy to come on later today.
Yes, Sam, and trust me, he's got enough talking for the both of us. So. You probably love this show. Yeah, pick his brain. You guys know me really well.
You've got a couple more minutes. So
right, you got a couple more minutes.
Can we, you said that you might give us a little bit of a preview or something that might be coming up?
Yeah, I'm actually going to play the whole song for you guys. There's going to be a lot of marketing going on with this song, so I'm happy you guys get to hear.
Hold on. Can we pump this real quick before you do this? Guys, biceps in the chat. Biceps in the chat.
Bullish, I'm actually going to send it to you so you can do it.
All right, sounds good.
Put it right in the private chat there.
Dope. We got a premiere.
Tell everyone we're getting the premiere Pulse. Can you tell us the specific verbiage so I don't mess it up?
This one's actually called Hex and Drip. There's actually another Pulse song coming out, but this one is actually pumps the Pulse community as well.
Is there any other crypto rappers, or you're the only dude who's doing this?
No, there's a couple guys, but this is cutting edge, baby.
DeFi Proof and DeFi D's, they're definitely the top right now.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys are gonna blow up with continuing putting the work on this stuff, like.
Yeah, I put it on.
This is gonna be like 50% of the world in no time, and you guys are only people who are putting out music in the arena.
Yeah, I'm not saying we're the only people putting on music. We're the only people, making people songs that people would actually bump to and probably, take some knowledge out of. Instead of talking about guns and bullets, and we're giving people some tokens
Bitches and drinking and drugs. Yeah.
Yeah, bullets. I sent it, I think, on Telegram.
Yep, I'm about to load it up right now.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself while you guys can hear that. But
dope. Hey, you want to say anything real quick? We can say anything real quick, and then we'll play the music video.
Yeah, while I'm loading it up, if you want, like, shout out anything you want to shout out, show whatever you want to show.
Definitely. One thing I did want to say, guys, I'm not gonna give any details on it, but we are gonna be building on Pulse, which is gonna be great. I want to give a shout out to the whole Sauce community, from non-fungible name, baby, G Crumb, DeFi Rebel, everybody in the Sauce chat. Yo, congratulations, guys, because we're about to have a great year. And I'm happy to be right here, man. In the Crypto in the Morning, I would love to come back, guys.
Yes, please, God, yes.
Let's come back after launch.
No, I think the next episode we do a prime time spot, 6:30 p.m. We get everyone watching, and we just have a banger. We get some smart minds on here, and we just dig in.
Definitely. All right, guys.
Hey, appreciate you, man.
You know that,
dude. DeFi Proof, bro. Can't wait to talk to you, man. You're the man.
Check him out. Check him out on Twitter and everybody else.
We'll tag all this stuff below.
Peace. So Bullish pulls this up and then should be launching. It should start playing shortly. Or we can just talk and let it drag out longer and longer.
Just give it a sec.
Hey, that was dope.
We can't see anything, Bullish.
That's fine. It's an audio.
Oh, my bad.
Hex and drip, hex and drip. All a nigga need is some hex and drip. 1% a day, I be printing drip. When I get post chain, I'ma stick that shit. Hex and drip, hex and drip. All a nigga need is some hex and drip. 1% a day, I be printing drip. When I get post chain, I'ma stick that shit. 555, feel like Richard Hart. Forrest got a nigga eating off the main farm. In the pen with some pigs, in the pools with dogs. And I just got a call from the R2R. Thomas G, this that crypto talk. DeFi Proof, he be in the sauce. When everybody eating, that's a real boss. Gotta watch out for Web3, there's a lot of frauds. Pulse chain finna change my life. Everything I had, I done sacrificed. Everything I earned, had to pay a price. Losing not an option, gotta make it right. Swear to God, DeFi be the way. 1% a day, keep the trap away. 1% a day, feel like celebrate. When I get pulse chain, I'ma celebrate. Hex and drip, hex and drip. All a nigga need is some hex and drip. 1% a day, I be printing drip. When I get pulse chain, I'ma stick that shit. Hex and drip, hex and drip. All a nigga need is some hex and drip. 1% a day, I be printing drip. When I get post chain, I'ma stick that shit.
I'm dripped down like the faucet. Gold was $1 million, yeah, I just crossed it. Sacrifice bread, I just tossed it. All weekend just got me rich and heartless. In the sauce, making profit. If you ain't talking DeFi, then you talking nonsense. My own bank with a conscience. I ain't using no bridge, so I'm just gonna simple swap it. Just landed in my wallet. Sacrificing all this profit. All this pulse sex. My LP gonna print a check.
Hex and drip, hex and drip. All a nigga need is some hex and drip. 1% a day, I be printing drip. When I get post chain, I'ma stick that shit. Hex and drip, hex and drip. All a nigga need is some hex and drip. 1% a day, I be printing drip. When I get post chain, I'ma stick that shit.
It's a chill song that I can bring up with my girlfriend. And that's it. We lost the sound. That's the dope.
That was amazing.
Song.
That
was
amazing.
Yo, what the fuck, yo? Yo!
I love what Proof is doing with the bringing the rap together with the crypto. Like that's gonna pop in the next couple of years. Holy!
Just like bodybuilding and crypto, it's similar. It's gonna pop.
Speaking of bodybuilding and crypto and popping, next Thursday, 6:30 p.m. EST, going to be going live talking bodybuilding and crypto and doing the podcast live on my channel.
What kind of people would like that stream?
People who are into like biohacking, who are into like health, who are into mindset. We talk about all of that kind of stuff. So if you want to improve your health, if you want to learn about the cutting edge type stuff, we also have people on there who are experts in their arena in the like biohacking, peptides, drugs, bodybuilding type stuff. If you enjoy that kind of stuff, you should definitely check it out because we also talk about health a lot on there. There's a lot of things in the health arena that you can actually take care of without using drugs, right? You go to the doctor's just going to be like, here, take this drug, right? But you can, if you look at a drug on a holistic
You can actually trick your doctors. No,
you can trick your doctor. We like to call them drug dealers that get paid more than drug dealers.
Yeah, no, they get paid less than drug dealers. If you look at their debt and you look at inflation over time, if you guys want to actually put a spreadsheet on it, I guarantee I made more money drug dealing than your average doctor out of.
Yeah, tax-free money too. No,
but you know what I mean? After inflation, we could probably run those numbers probably close.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. Depending on how good you are as a drug dealer, though.
I'm gonna say 30 grand,
good dealer,
60 grand under the table, like without any debt. And that probably extrapolates to about 120 grand in doctor debt because half the stuff they pay is for like taxes and health insurance and shit. And then they have to pay like 8 years of their life, which is, worth $1 billion, basically. If somebody was like, Scott, 8 years of your life, I'd like, $1 billion. I need $1 billion. You want me to be a doctor? Give me $1 billion.
It's just not worth it.
No, literally though. Like if someone was like, Scott, you could be a doctor right now. I was like, I'll study every day for the rest of my life. Give me $1 billion. Literally, that's when it would become worth it. Like at that billion number, because everything under that, I'm like, I want to do something else.
Yeah, correct. I don't even know if I do it for $1 billion. I'm so happy. I'm like so happy with where I'm at. Like I'm good. I don't need to do it.
But it'd be fun. I mean, at least a doctor, you could like try to make a difference in some way, maybe.
I would, if there is a doctor listening, I would like to partner with somebody and build a clinic for.
We can talk about that.
I really want to do that.
I know a bunch of doctors, dude. We're good.
Well, let's build out a clinic that we can actually help the men and women out there optimize their health.
Yes.
And do it in a way where it's not just pushing on drugs in them. Yes, we can.
And you know how detail oriented we are. We would make sure everyone was. It's just perfect, because it's all about.
It's right in line.
It's all about customer service.
And doing those things that are going to truly help the people. Like, plus we talked about, who were we talking to the other day? We're talking about research. Crypto Sloth, like not necessarily him, but like funding the research so that we can show that you can use the supplements because it would.
That's my goal. That's my goal, dude. That's my goal. I want to fund research so that it'd be so much.
I want to break big pharma. I want to fix the system around health.
Dude, we might break big pharma just with breaking the financial system. Like it might break in the same token because they're just, if we actually get full adoption, like, which is like, that's a lifetime of battles away. But like, I'm willing to fight everyone, by the way.
Where do you think, so, right, we've talked about the S-curve many times. We're at 4% roughly, a little under 4% according to those two companies.
We have 15 more minutes.
Let me text my buddy real quick. Keep talking. I'm supposed to help him move some furniture. He does custom furniture.
He always pulls this furniture shit out of his ass whenever
he's doing it, him and his wife. So let me just check with him. Let's see.
His wife has no legs or arms. No, I'm just kidding.
he builds this dope ass furniture, but it's all custom, so it's super heavy, and then has to go to like these by the water. Yeah.
We could change. Yeah, guys.
Are we still on for 1 o'clock?
Say you want pizza.
I did. Okay, so yeah, what did you think of? What was the most interesting thing that you learned or thought about? What did you think about? I know you caught it because this morning I was literally telling to you about LP, and then Proof is like, hey, check out fucking LP. What did you think of that?
Well, before we get into that, that was amazing, first of all. And I want to get right into that. If you have not shared this stream yet, clip that part out with the music video. It's the only way you're getting it, because we're not posting the link anywhere. Clip that out, repost it to everything, tag DeFi proof, and get some hype behind some DeFi proof action, because what he's doing, he's actually making songs that are cool in a space that has not become cool yet. So this is like, just like we're doing, we're trying to make it cool in bodybuilding, right? Guys, bodybuilding, saving money long term, two in the same. Let's make that happen. Hip hop, guys that love hip hop, the struggle, etc. Let's get your money right. Let's show you how to do things properly. Like, it's all, we're trying to show men and women. I'm just a man, so I always say men, but like, we're trying to show men and women how to escape a reality that we both lived in, that we did not necessarily want to continue to move forward in. And other people have that same experience, but they don't know how to, whatever.
I'm bringing in, whether my buddy who's on the Thursday, he's doing Thursday, he's who I do the podcast with, Too Much Test podcast. If you guys want to check it out, it's on your favorite podcast platform, Too Much Test. Well, he doesn't probably know it yet, but I was like, I'm definitely going to work in crypto into the show, because we'll talk fitness and all that kind of stuff, but there's so many people in the fitness side of things where crypto would really be able to help set them free in like so many different ways, and incorporating that into the show in some fashion would help them so much in so many ways. Because if you can get your health taken care of and then start getting your financial house in order and together in your future.
Crypto Ganal, thank you for the 999 super chat. Good morning, family. Super sticker. Oh, sorry, we were talking to DeFi Proof when you posted this. I saw this, my bad. But thank you so much for the support, guys. I appreciate it so much. Crypto Ganal and Hex. Again, I always forget how to say your name. Hex ED, I always call it, because I always think of erectile dysfunction. Stop. Stephen Thomas. Love this. Hey, Stephen Thomas. That's the name of a professional UFC fighter who's really good. He's 42 and he still fights for a living, and he is really nimble. It's pretty impressive. I love watching the guys as they get into their 40s, what their nutrition looks like and what their daily maintenance looks like, because say what you want about watching sports all day, watching what they do to prepare their bodies is truly amazing, because they're natty, most of them. This guy's natty, at least I know he is, because
how More Plates, More Dates, the Derek dude that you want to get on. Okay. With the fitness show, I get like the Dr. Tony Huge guy, so I can get him on.
Oh, dude, listen, if I could talk to Dr. Tony Huge in any way, shape, or form, I would be forever in debt to you. Fuck Derek.
I've already had him on the show once and talked to him.
No, fuck Derek. I tagged him 150 times, and I tagged all his plebeians and all his guys, and I did the affiliate link sign up. And yeah, he'll get back to me when X is $1. But Derek, now I'm going to come out with my own pre-workout, and it's going to crush yours. So you screwed up. But that's not the point. Derek, I still love you. Your information, amazing. Your content, incredible.
But that might be the pathway at which I can connect with.
No, Derek. I know those guys all follow each other. You're right, dude. Dr. Tony Huge is an inspiration of mine, no matter what people say about him. Yeah, his stuff is taboo.
I already messaged him on WhatsApp.
You tell Tony Huge that if he ever knows who I am at any point, that I'm a huge fan. Okay, I'm a huge fan. Yes. And I've DM'd him 100 times, and he's answered me a few times. He wouldn't, just stupid questions about, obscure subjects that I would be asking Tony Huge. But he's very responsive, and he is a freedom fighter, no matter what anyone says.
Juicy.
Y'all boys natty or juice? What about you, Sam? Are you natty or juice?
I'm natty as it come. I'm just natty. I'd like to use juice on the side, so technically a natty and then just juice on top of it. I'm on TRT and SARMs and MK677.
No, so the answer to that question is no. We're not natural by definition. No.
Yes. Which I think
dosages range from nothing, almost nothing, but I just do my doctor prescribed amount, if not a little less usually. But Sam is also a different kind of animal at the gym than I am, for sure. But I'm getting there again. But I don't, you never want to push yourself. if you're not doing the work beforehand. You want to do the work beforehand, and it's just
because otherwise
bodybuilding is a wormhole. If you're listening to this, you have no idea what you're talking about, probably, and unless you know exactly what you're talking about. Like, it's either, so just know, like, we've done thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of research on this shit. So don't fucking do shit, guys. Stop what you're doing. Look in the mirror and realize that you're making a mistake, probably.
You can improve your health. Like, do all that. And
Sam knows none of you guys are healthy enough. You have to be top tier health for Sam to even consider you as someone that would even consider doing anything like that. Like, Sam proven over a decade that he's going to eat a macronutrient intake of someone, of a monk of sorts, of like the most, perfect macronutrient intake. That's pretty much been an obsession of his to a degree.
Yep. Yes.
I've never gotten there, and it's pissing me off, Sam. I want to get there. My body doesn't hurt enough yet. I want it to hurt more. I'm like, God damn, I wish sometimes because sometimes when
post training, you mean?
It's like, sometimes I need to eat so calorie dense that I just need to shove shit in my mouth. Like, I just don't. I know I could schedule it all out and do it better, of course. But like,
when you like avocados?
Yes, but even that, dude, like, it's not dense enough. I know I could eat 3 or 4. I'm talking like, I need to eat. Like, dude, I've been eating so much, Sam. I'm telling you, I ate like 11 eggs this morning.
Yeah, but that might be like, there's plenty of times where I just eat a dozen eggs. Like,
I do it all the time. It's just because I'm like, I should probably get some protein in right now, so I'll just double down for whatever reason. But I'll skip the carbs, right? Like, so whenever I double up on the protein in the morning, I've pretty much committed to like not carving. So like, it's just in my head. It's just like a little ratio that I do. But I don't like the feeling of eating carbohydrates afterward.
Yes.
It makes me tired.
Use the fat. That's why I said avocado or additional.
So tell me, how do I avoid that though? The pump.
You get used to it. Like, I still had a good pump.
Dude,
like,
whenever I eat carbs and like blueberry muffins and shit, dude, at the gym I look like a freaking Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, but like, it's just I'm
addicted to that S at the gym where I'm like, it's not even when anyone's around. I'm just like, ah.
Yeah, and it's not, you don't need those carbs. We just don't need those carbs. So I generally speaking live with very low carbs, or I like to eat resistant starches at least once per meal, or once per day in a meal or whatever. But most of the time I'm very low carbs and just high in protein, even if I'm like in a caloric surplus.
There's connections within the community in bodybuilding too.
Do you see people doing weird crap in the gym all the time? Yes. But people probably think that I do weird crap in the gym. Like,
yeah, I do weird crap at the gym all the time too. I was doing handstand pushes for like an hour and a half in handstands.
Or I might do 12 sets of something. People are like, what the fuck is this dude doing?
I did 11 sets of dips this morning. Right? And I think my first set I did 70. Literally like 70. And the set took me like 3 minutes. And I just stayed up. Like, when my arms started burning, I just locked in for like 30 seconds. And then I waited. Like, if you get really efficient in your butt, you can almost just wait until you get a couple extra reps if you just hold the top a little bit. I love doing that.
Correct. The eating is the biggest part. X Papa by the way, this is an OG. He's been here from the beginning. So thank you and salute. I appreciate the support. The eating is the hardest part. One thing that's been so helpful for me over the last decade is those things that you feel that are. There's a couple things where you mentally say, oh, I don't want to give this thing up, right? Don't focus on those. Focus on the other stuff that you don't have those stories you tell yourself about. Now, the other stuff that's below those mentally, take those and swap them for things that are healthier. And then once you start taking care of the small stuff that's not as important as those things like, oh, I don't want to give up this thing that you tell yourself is so good that you don't want to improve your health because of this thing, right? You take care of the small shit, the shit that's not these big boulders mentally for you in the food piece, and work on the small shit. Once you start taking care of the small stuff, the big things are easier to take care of. That works in every area of life.
Just get your sleep straight. You crazy. None of these guys sleep right. I'm the sleep police, and I'm calling out names, and I'm calling people out. You know how I'm calling them out? I say this. People could say whatever they want about being smart, knowing what you're talking about, blah, 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 blah. You can't outpace someone who gets good sleep every night. You can't. You just trust me. I'd outpace you on one leg in my sleep. because at 4 a.m. I wake up like a loaded pistol, literally. And it's just like, I see people stay up till 4 a.m. I'm like, what? You just wasted your week.
But what time are you going to bed?
Like 9:30, 10.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
If I can, and if I don't, I just sleep in, which is like once or twice a week if I stream or something. Like if I like, you know what I mean? So I think it's, well, as you get older too, guys, it is important to know that there are studies that show that generally as you get older, you need a hair less sleep as you go for some reason, just like naturally or whatever. It's probably because you're dying. But
you're like, I'm running out of time. I need to go faster.
Your body's decaying at a faster rate every day. So 20%, it's just like exponentially. You stop needing sleep because you know you're going to die and you have time. It's like a time limiting factor. But
it's not just the lack of sleep that fucks up your hormones and your health and stuff, right? Because whether 5 hours is appropriate for certain people, right? Like Crypto Gains Club mentions 5 hours. They get 5 hours, which could be ideal. But one of the things that also messes up sleep, morning, Brian, how you doing? I got to call your brother today, is not only the duration, the length of time somebody sleeps, but the pattern at which somebody sleeps. So if you go to bed at say 9 o'clock one night, and then the next night you're out partying and you're up until 2 a.m., that fucks up your sleep. So if you do that every weekend, you're like, okay, cool, I'm going out partying with friends, right? And you're up till 2 o'clock in the morning on a Friday and Saturday night. And then on Monday, Tuesday, you go back to bed at 9 or 10 o'clock p.m., right? That messes up your hormones. So having the regularity, just 7 days a week.
People don't even know their hormones. Like, it's not even, might as well not even mention it, because people have no relationship with their hormones. They don't even know. Like, it's like one of those unknowns unless you know, right? It's like, I didn't know about my hormones until I like all the way knew. It's almost like a biology understanding. It's like, as you understand the T-share, you can have more confidence within the, like, putting more money into the system. As you have more confidence in your understanding of the body and your hormones, you know what you must do, because it's just more natural, right? It feels more natural when you're sleeping and you're eating properly. Your brain's working, you feel grateful. It's just like, this is how my body was supposed to work, right? And rather than like getting 2 days of work done in 6 hours, sleeping for 3 days, being a shit to your girl, getting divorced in 5 years, and then wishing you were dead. That's the difference right there. It's like those are the differences. Like, a good night's sleep to me is the difference between a bad marriage and a good marriage. I swear. Like, I swear, dude. I'm telling you, sleep is the key.
Sleep is absolutely stunning. Like, people are completely underrated on sleep. Hey, can you give an update on where you are on the Crypto Fitness Challenge?
Yeah. So I'm right now, I'm 165 pounds this morning, I think. That was before anything. I'm pretty much like almost all-time highs for lifting. So like, I'm close to my like 175 lifting of like last summer, but I'm like 7 pounds off, or like 8 pounds off of that probably. So like, strength wise, I'm similar. I probably look a little denser. I'm not as cut at all as I was at 175. So like, so it's like a weird thing where it's like, I have more estrogen. I'm a little more fluffy right now, but like, I'm just as strong as I was when I was like geeked out lean at like 175, you know? So I'm like moving up in a different way, and I kind of have to attack it the last 30 days. So like, the last 30 days, I'm going to attack it more so in like a dieting frame. But until then, I'm just going to try to like get my lifts up, still be athletic, still be lean, but like, you know, start getting to that point where like maybe my six pack isn't showing a little bit. And then right then I'm going to like do a 30 day, just like ripper to just get. And then that last day, I'm going to do it like more like a competition on that last day. I'm going to take a picture, and I want that last day to be like very reflexive, rather than like the 2 weeks before might be a little off, because I'll be gaining a little bit more, you know? Mm-hmm. What about you?
What is your goal? 175?
Mm-hmm.
So you started at 163-ish?
161.
161. So that's progress, dude. It's 3 weeks in. So hell yeah, I'm curious to see what the results are going to be as you finish.
Yeah, I'm lifting like a bus again. So like, and I'm much leaner. I'm much smaller. So it's cool to see, like, when I have a little estrogen in my system and a little more fluff, it's definitely much easier to lift. Because usually last summer I was just wanted to be beach ready, like all summer. I just wanted to be depleted, and I was, and it was fantastic. But at the same time, I wasn't. I was just like drinking and not eating and like just ripped.
And there's two different feelings you get from being the depleted and getting the physique you want. There's a certain type of feeling you create with that, which is enjoyable to a certain extent. But there's also a certain type of feeling you get from being a little softer potentially and having or feeling like there's more energy in the gym, right? Because the workouts when you're depleted are not necessarily always the same as the workouts you're having now, where you're way fuller, I bet, right? That's one.
Well, the workouts I'm having now is so different too, Sam, because I'm going twice a day. I'm not going to lie to anyone. So I've been going
awesome.
I've been going for 45 minutes twice a day to get more social time in too, because I do need to chat a little more. That helps me if I'm there a little different times. But I'm doing like 4 sets really heavy, like both times. I'm not doing much, you know. Like I want to really stress that I don't lift that much volume right now. Yeah, during the sets I lift a lot of volume, but like I just don't lift that many sets, if you know what I mean. Like I probably do like
throughout your whole workout or per exercise?
Per exercise I do 3, but I probably do 4 or 5 exercises and that's it. But I mean, when I'm doing those 3, it's like ridiculous. Like it's ridiculous. Like I'm ripping it as absolutely, and I warm up a little for each.
Are you sore after your workout?
If
like,
I
not necessarily the
if I
same day.
really hit it hard, but mostly no.
But 24 hours later, are you sore or 36? Okay.
If I do back real heavy and I get straps, yes. If I do biceps with any kind of straps, yes. If I do deadlifts with any kind of straps, yes. So basically, I'm at the point already where it's like I would have to add a compound close to, like I could definitely lean out a little bit natural, but I would have to add a compound to like not to get bigger. Like I could definitely get bigger no matter what, but like to have that same fullness I had last summer because I was on
37.
I was on compound all last summer, I'm pretty sure.
But you're doing the extra volume in terms of you're doing 2 workouts a day.
So I did legs yesterday morning and then I did arms at night.
And then today,
this morning I did. What did I do?
Dips.
This morning I did dips, I did triceps, I did chest, like more so machine work though, like because.
And then tonight you're not going to do it.
No, because I'm going with my friends tonight. So like I don't have to go twice a day, but like if I have a normal day, which is 90% of the time, I would prefer to go twice.
That was the physique update that I just had up on the screen a couple of minutes ago. That was this morning post workout. Sitting, you can see pretty soft looking. I mean, like from my point of view, right? Very soft looking and not super lean or anything like that. So I'm expecting to get a lot leaner through the rest of this, 70 days that is left. I've reduced fat and I wasn't eating a ton of carbs, but I've reduced my calories slightly and increased my cardio. So I've noticed that I am leaner, but I have also added in a little bit of LGD 5 days a week and a little bit of MK677 5 days a week. Neato.
That's why you're looking fluffy.
Yes. From the extra
makes you look fluffy.
And the LGD sometimes is a little bit of a softer.
Yeah, it's true. I haven't taken anything like that since last summer, and I probably won't because I'll see what goes on. Again, you know me, I get too emotional when I take anything, so it's hard to even regulate. Like, if Sam has a totally different experience, so it kind of blows his mind when I say this shit. But like, if I take any compound, I turn into an animal.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yes, there is. There is a little bit wrong.
You just can't do anything.
I just can't stop fucking.
Yeah. So if you're not used to taking hormones that you take, and I don't, literally, I've only done 1 cycle of testosterone, and that was when I was 17, 18. I didn't do anything for like 10 years. And then I started researching with SARMs 8-9 years ago. And then 4 years ago, I probably added in TRT. So I've basically been below 250. Most of the time, it was right around 200 milligrams.
Thank you so much, Anito. Yes, PHEX to $100 in 10 days.
Yes, PHEX. Yeah. I gotta go help my buddy move that fucking table. It's been awesome. Hey, if you guys see Motley in the comments, he bet me because he thinks he's a big man, right? Which he is. That I cannot beat his Twitter following. And if I am able to beat his Twitter following by the end of this fitness challenge, he bet 50,000 hacks that I cannot beat him. It's basically like he's trying to pick on me because I only have 3,000 plus followers. I think I'm at 3,600 followers, and he's at 14,300 plus followers. So if you want to help out, jump down below to Twitter, press the follow button, retweet something, jump over there and just say what's good. I would appreciate it. I'd like to win that bet against Motley.
Hold on, before you go, Sam.
Your thing cut out for a second.
Funny, 87.4 thousand views. This has 84.7 thousand views. Why?
What is it?
What cut out?
Your audio cut out. I didn't hear what you said, and then I heard 87,000.
I said it has 87,000 views. I posted this, I think, 3 days ago. Turn your shit off so it stops running on the bottom and lagging my stuff out because my shit sucks.
All-time high for Dogecoin. He went and shilled it on Saturday Night Live, and then it's dropped 80% since then. Wow. He bought Bitcoin secretly, bought like $1 billion of it secretly, then said it was great and had Tesla accepted for cars. Then he sold it. He said he wasn't going to sell any of the coins he got, but then he sold the coins he didn't get from other people. He sold the coins that he had already bought himself and said he was testing the liquidity. He sold like 600 million worth, dumped the price. So he bought it, said it was good, secretly dumped it, and then said it sucked and Tesla wouldn't accept it anymore because it pollutes the environment. All-time high for Dogecoin.
And you can see that he's already making excuses, even though I'm not anywhere close. Not anywhere close.
What are your thoughts on Elon? Is he just doing business games and playing whatever, like, because he just is the man, I guess, and can do whatever he wants?
Yes.
It's basically like he's just like kind of laughing, trolling, but like making billions of dollars.
100%.
Kind of admits it. The one thing about Elon that I like, it's not like he comes out there and he's like, Dogecoin users, I am for you. He's like, no, we might build on it, but fuck you. All you guys dump your shit. It's like whatever though. That's big business, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the like. I think that there's a like a misunderstanding of what takes place, and if you when you go through and do some things, it sounds like Richard Hart is a little bit more calculated in some of the things he does. When if you've been following Elon Musk for 10 years, like I have, he'll just do things. Right? He'll just make a decision and do things and then come back and change them up. So from somebody point of view who thinks in the way that they potentially are more calculated, how people portray Richard Hart to be, right? And more calculated in some of the decisions he makes, it doesn't come across that way at all. Following Elon Musk for 10 plus years, that is even slightly how he comes across it. Just because that's the way you do it doesn't mean that's the way other people do things. So I don't necessarily agree with what Richard Hart has to say in regards to Elon Musk, given that I have a lot more context than a lot of people, and probably I'm assuming that there's
That's why
no way.
I asked, and I was never hating on Elon. He never came out and said anything about him owing anyone anything. So fuck everyone.
Yes. Tweet this at me. I got to go drive.
And Sam, that post on my reels, I've never had a post get over 2,000 views on my reels on Instagram. That one has 10,000 views, and I've posted many of Richard Hart clips, many. And none of them have gotten over 1,000. And that one's the only one that's popped off on the algo. Just to let you know, just so that one.
Because it's
get your butt out of here, Sam. What up, Jank? Jank, get your butt on here and do some TA real quick. Show the people what you say. I was about to get off, and I probably still will, but if you want to, I'd love to know. Heading to the gym. I've got 2 streams later. Motley, do you have a link to that? Whichever stream you'd like to, whichever one's next at 2:30. If you drop a link, I'll post it everywhere so we can make sure everyone pre-likes it. Dad bod, smashing panda, holding my puppy. Dad vibes. Chad vibes, bro. Chad vibes. I wish I could rewind and go to that song. That song was absolutely epic. Guys.
It can happen.
Can we do that real quick?
Yeah, give me a minute.
Oh, guys, Jenkins, hold your horses, guys. We're going to play the song one more time. It's an absolute banger, guys. This is the only place you can hear this song right now, I'm pretty sure, other than on the rewind. So clip it out, clip this out, put your screen recorder on, because the banger will be playing again in a minute. The banger will be playing again in a minute. The Pulse Chain DeFi proof, absolute banger. The people who stuck around and smashed the like, guys, smash the like, smash the like. We're going to play the song again. Smash the like, smash the like. Hit the sub, send to your friend, send to your friends. Jenkins, if you like this beat, let me know, boy. Let me know, boy. Let me know, boy. This shit's hot, boy. This shit's so hot, boy. I'm telling you, it starts off slow for like 2 seconds and then it's like goes off the deep end of just banging. I'm excited. Did you smash the like, bro? Here we go, guys. Just listen up.
All right, give me a second. I'm loading it up. You gonna stay on after this?
Potentially.
All right, let's go.
X and drip, X and drip. All a nigga need is some X and drip. 1% a day, I be printing drip. When I get post chain, I'ma stick that shit. X and drip, X and drip. All a nigga need is some X and drip. 1% a day, I be printing drip. When I get post chain, I'ma stick that shit. 555, feel like Richard Hart. Forrest got a nigga eating off the main farm. In the pen with some pigs, in the pools with dogs. And I just got a call from the R2R. Thomas G, this that crypto talk. DeFi proof, he be in the sauce. When everybody eating, that's a real boss. Gotta watch out for Web3, there's a lot of frauds. Pulse chain finna change my life. Everything I had, I done sacrificed. Everything I earned, had to pay a price. Losing not an option, gotta make it right. Swear to God, DeFi be the way. 1% a day, keep the trap away. 1% a day, feel like celebrate. When I get pulse chain, I'ma celebrate. X and drip, X and drip. All a nigga need is some X and drip. 1% a day, I be printing drip. When I get post chain, I'ma stick that shit. X and drip, X and drip. All a nigga need is some X and drip. 1% a day, I be printing drip. When I get post chain, I'ma stick that shit.
I'm dripped down like the faucet. Gold was $1 million, yeah, I just crossed it. Sacrifice bread, I just tossed it. All weekend just got me rich and heartless. In the sauce, making profit. If you ain't talking DeFi, then you talking nonsense. My own bank with a conscience. I ain't using no bridge, so I'm just gonna simple swap it. Just landed in my wallet. Sacrificing all this profit. All this bullshit. My LP gonna print a check.
X and drip, X and drip. All a nigga need is some X and drip. 1% a day, I be printing drip. When I get post chain, I'ma stick that shit. X and drip, X and drip. All a nigga need is some X and drip. 1% a day, I be printing drip. When I get post chain, I'ma stick that shit.
That's just hot, yo. Scott Vanderpool. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. F's in the chat for Scott Vanderpool. F's in the chat for Scott. No bicep. F in the chat. F in the chat. DeFi Peru. He was just on the show for an hour and a half, so I was just playing with you. That shit was lit, dude. That's just popping. Dude, who's this, Drake? Get on that stream. if someone joins that stream in 5 minutes and wants to do some Hex TA, get on in here. Other than that, yes, I would be categorized in the white category. So is your PP. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can confirm. Can confirm. I was just joking, boy. Yeah, it was popping, dude. That song, DeFi Proof, he was just on here, gave his story top to bottom. Dude's a genius in DeFi. Dude's a pretty smart ass dude. He's building on Pulse Chain. He comes out with rap songs. They're actually good. Come on, guys. An actually good rap song about DeFi, that's pretty crazy. Dude's popping. Sorry, not sorry. Guys, if you haven't already, hit the like, hit the sub. Just know we're doing the 24-hour live Pulse Chain launch stream. We're going to be inviting people on. We're going to be warning the public. It's going to be warning the public. Warning, 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 warning. This is special guest DeFi Proof for people that weren't there. He was just on here for an hour and a half, the first hour and a half. Snippets of his music video, snippets of a documentary little video made of him, and the new song just launched, guys. Dude, the stream was fire, dude. I'm jacked up. I'm going out with my friends tonight, and I'm having anxiety about it. Do you want to help me, Bullish, get rid of the anxiety? Or should I just get off? I should just get off. Double bullish. Single bullish.
I think you should go out. Enjoy yourself. You enjoy it. Get out of your cave that you've been in for the past like.
Yep, guys. I'm gonna go out early, get home early, still get to bed close to on time. Hopefully not get into too much trouble, but you know GRC. Hopefully I'll take some videos. If I'm drunk, I'll definitely take some videos. So, guys, hit the like. Please smash the subscribe button, guys. We're coming into the Pulse Chain. Let's get the channel popping. Let's get in prime position. Let's get motivations absolutely maxed out right now for me. It's freaking great. I'm jacked up 24/7, and I'm still ready to go. I don't think about the price too much, guys. I don't care. I don't care about all that shit. I care about the software. I care about the community. I care about changing the world right now at this time in my life. I ain't got no family. I don't thinking about that shit too much right now. I'm ready to pop off, teach people about crypto, and change the world, guys. Outro will be DeFi Proof. This is also DeFi. If you're new and you didn't see the whole episode, this is DeFi Proof's original song that he blessed the community with. So we'll outro with that. Peace, guys.
Young folks, you tripping on them motherfucker.
Richard Heart. Richard Heart.
Bought my Hex from the fucking start. .1 every day we mark. Bought my Hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Heart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hair restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my Hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Heart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hair restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Checking my MetaMask moving. Look at the Hex, here's mooning. Looking at wives they be choosing. Peter is why they be losing. Pull chains out and they'll get me a check. Heath gas up and it got me a mess. Remember the times he died collect. Hex I been eating, I'm dying in the best. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Bought my Hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Heart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hair restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my Hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Heart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hair restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart.